If I could show this picture here, there's a couple, makes it really simple
Yeah, please.
because I flunked out of school twice because I can't write. Now, my book is number 20 in the world, Robert. Of all books in the world, I'm number 20.
Wow.
Number
Incredible.
19 is the Bible. No, I'm only kidding. I'll probably go to hell too. Anyway, but here, this is the thing. This is book number 2. Okay.
Okay.
And my rich dad would say there's 4 kinds of people in the world: employees, self-employed or small business guys,
Mm-hmm.
big business or brands. And I is not a 401k guy. I is an insider.
Mm.
So I'm always in, that what they say is is illegal. That's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Insider trading is done all day long.
Yeah.
I don't have stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or a 401k. I only invest from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So I put my own deals together. I am a capitalist. I don't need to buy a stock because I can build my own assets.
Mm.
So when I was about 10 years old, my brain started to shift saying, I'd rather be on this side. And this is poor dad, job security. And this is my mom. She wanted to become a doctor or a lawyer. And I said, Mom, there's only a problem with that. Those are smart people. She goes, You're right. You better stay on this. I was a C student. And so I belong on this side.
Yeah.
And so if you look at most entrepreneurs, they drop out of school.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know that? Because you're not going to get entrepreneurship on this side. You're going to get it on the B and the I side. So what Rich Dad does is we teach on this side. It's up to you. This side is the hardest, as you know, as an accountant, you know how hard this side is.
Of course.
This side is, you have to be really smart.
Yeah.
But this side here is pretty easy.
Yeah. The trade-off between security and freedom, right? Like you're either out there with your own skin in the game, making your own way, which is a high risk, high reward lifestyle, or you can be under the thumb of someone or some big company where you've got a more predictable, secure lifestyle, usually, but it can also all be taken away from you, right? Where if you get laid off after 20 years on the job, then you're just completely unprepared for the wild, so to speak. And my stepdad used to say to me all the time, it's funny you talk about A students and C students. He goes, a C student hires an A student every single day of the week. So it's not about...
Yeah, that's not a very popular concept there, Robert.
Yeah, but it's
A
true.
students work for C students and B students work for the government. That's where B stands for bureaucrat.
Yeah. So that's a good branch into... Yeah, I guess it's capitalists versus bureaucrats in a way. And it comes down to property ultimately. You know, capitalists are about creating wealth and monetizing property. As you say, you make your own deals, whereas bureaucrats are really about confiscating or taxing or stealing from the productive efforts of others, flat out. And as you say, in the book, taxes punish those who produce and reward those who don't produce.
Right.
It's as simple as that. It's a very straightforward incentive system. And it blows your mind when you think about the percentage, because it ends up, the government actually is the most expensive purchase most people make in their lifetimes. You make the point that most people are working from January to May just for their government. So how is one to deal with this? I guess the entrepreneurial path is to figure out the rules of the game and then go and play it. And clearly you've done this very well in real estate, where I think you're using a combination of borrowing plus 1031 exchanges and corporate sheltering profits in corporations. You're constantly playing this game to pay yourself first, as Rich Dad taught you, but still play by the rules. Maybe you could explain a little bit of that.
Yeah, as a lot of people think I'm a real estate guy, I'm really not. I own about $1 billion worth of real estate. 100% debt. If you understand that one, it's called leverage. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I learned very early on when I was when I was in Vietnam, that's when Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard,
Mm-hmm.
and the dollar became debt. So that's what changed my mind. But if you look at this here, it's just a matter of awareness. This is book 2, Cash Flow Quadrant.
Yeah.
Employees, and this is worldwide. As an accountant, you know this. 40% of their income goes to the government first.
Yeah. So
40%.
40% of employee income straight to government. Yeah.
Yeah. And for the self-employed, for the small entrepreneur, it's 60%.
Wow.
Well, Robert, what's happening? I mean, you see this all the time. So what happens is these young kids, they say, well, I'll quit my job, become an entrepreneur. And they walk into the highest tax bracket possible.
Right.
Okay, so on this side here, B stands for big business, 500 employees by law. It's 20%.
Right.
So when I was a kid, I said, I want to get onto this side. And the true I is 0.
It is nothing. Right.
Yeah. And so when you watch Trump, Trump and I have written 2 books together. I know he's hated, but he's a good guy. When Hillary said, it's true you don't pay taxes. And what did Trump say on national television? That means I'm smart. And so Robert, as an accountant, that he operates from
here.
Okay, so the reason I invest in real estate is to offset the taxes here.
From the business.
Okay, so let's say I make $1 million here. I come down here, let's say I make $1 million, I lever up 4. So I borrow 4 million. My basis is now 5 million. I depreciate the 5 million to get it down to 0.
So you're taking the profit streams from the corporate investments, putting them into real estate, using that as collateral to borrow and expand the base, and then just depreciating off.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
it's genius.
It's this here is that I use debt to buy my assets.
Yeah.
So this is the liability. This is debt. So I borrow 4 million here. My basis, I make 1 million here, borrow 4. I'm at 5 here. I depreciate 5.
Gotcha. And that that offsets all the income that was produced originally. Wow.
And guess what? I make more and more money.
Right.
And that's what Trump.
Yeah.
Hillary makes it the old-fashioned way. They pick your pockets.
I thought it was, for the audience, it's just on audio. There's a brilliant visuals in the book that are breaking it down just that simply. You've got assets and liabilities. You've got income and expenses. And the rich dad strategy is really just to increase the asset side of the balance sheet, largely through the difference between income and expenses, but also through these strategies you're mentioning here.
Well, I'm showing a picture of the asset column, which is, Rich Dad, Poor Dad is basically a book on accounting. That's all it is.